morning, sir. My name is Jahan. I'm from HR College. Sir, my question is more about spirituality and moral values. That we see today in today's world, there's more of a materialistic frame of thought when it comes to generations, budding generations. So what do you believe is a possible methodology which governments, rather yours or any other governments in the world, that can adopt to basically incorporate the human core values, the moral values of selflessness, brotherhood, over the materialistic frame of thought which people work by today?
It's a terrific question, and I'm glad you're asking it. India is making enormous progress in part because, like America, it has this incredible entrepreneurial talent, entrepreneurial spirit. And I think we should not underestimate how liberating economic growth can be for a country. In the United States, I used to work with a lot of churches when I was still a community organizer before I went to law school. And one of the common phrases among the pastors there was, it's hard to preach to an empty stomach. It's hard to preach to an empty stomach. If people have severe, immediate material needs, shelter, food, clothing, then that is their focus. And economic growth and development that is self-sustaining can liberate people, allow them, it forms the basis for folks to get an education and to expand their horizons, and that's all for the good. So I don't want any young person here to be dismissive of a healthy materialism, because in a country like India, there are still a lot of people trapped in poverty. And you should be working to try to lift folks out of poverty. And companies and businesses have a huge role in making that happen. Now, having said that, if all you're thinking about is material wealth, then I think that shows a poverty of ambition. When I was visiting Gandhi's room here in Mumbai, it was very telling that the only objects in the room were a mat and a spinning wheel and some sandals, a few papers. And this is a man who changed history like probably no one else in the 20th century, in terms of the number of lives that he affected. And he had nothing except an indomitable spirit. So everyone has a role to play. And those of you who are planning to go into business, I think it's wonderful that you're going into business. And you should pursue it with all your focus and energy. Those of you, though, who are more inclined to teach or more inclined to public service, you should also feel encouraged that you are playing just as critical a role. And whatever occupation you choose, giving back to the community and making sure that you're reaching back to help people, lift up people who may have been left behind, that's a solemn obligation. And by the way, it's actually good for you. It's good for your spirit. It's good for your own moral development. It'll make you a happier person, knowing that you've given back and you've contributed something.